And here we go.
It's going to be a nice one.
Those are the days, man.
I think, don't turn away. First of all, don't look away. Stick with us, guys, because I think there's a lot going on in these matchups.
In these matchups?
And I think these are going to be an important cornerstone of the standard metagame this weekend at the Pro Tour and going forward after the Pro Tour.
So I don't think blue-black control has legs.
Okay. You don't think it's a real deck? Like
No.
a deck that can win a tournament?
I don't.
All right.
I think it's probably got like a 55-45 or a 60-40 match here.
Uh-huh.
Like I think it's a little bit favored here. But I think it's a huge dog to the green-black decks.
Okay.
Who fixes all the problems?
And I think it's also a dog to other control decks.
Who doesn't buy crappy USB Wi-Fi adapters?
All right. Well, you think the advantage is to the blue-black deck here?
What's that?
You think the advantage is to the blue-black deck here?
I'd have to see Jared's list.
The thing that makes me nervous is I don't know how many like
I'll let you
straight up
ruin your life.
break up the combo type cards he has. I don't know if the table's being particularly loud or if it's just loud in our mics.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But it might just be Jake and Jared are loud human beings.
They're both loud human beings. That's true.
Get some feedback in the chat if you guys are getting blown out by their boisterous.
Blown out by their boisterous babble.
Well done. Well done.
So the advantage of playing blue-black control in this Saheeli matchup is you get Grasp for the Guardians, which is good. You get To the Slaughter, which gets both parts of the combo.
Oh yeah.
Which is like premium.
Guardian on the stack To the Slaughter. Your Saheeli is a nice one.
Well, I hope you have crayons.
Well, you do it with Delirium, so you do it with like the.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, you get both halves.
For real.
Yeah, you get 2 for 1 there.
Sure.
Pretty solid. Plus, blue-black control has a little bit better end game with the Torrential Gear Hulks and Glimmers, if you can get to that part.
This is not the worst.
So Jake's probably playing a pretty stock list if I know Jake.
Yeah. Jake stock Valentine here.
He's not very creative.
No, he's not very intelligent.
He tends to just like whatever's put in front of him.
He kind of smells.
He's got a great smile.
If you can stand the stench of him opening his mouth. Terrible breath on that one.
He has wonderful taste in restaurants.
I got nothing on that one.
And an excellent. And
So much fun was had that day.
he values 90s music.
Well, I know he's your favorite person as a result of that alone.
Jake and I are great road trip partners. And Jared's going to let this Glimmer resolve. Now, here's a lot of the action going on. These guys snapped out the first 5 turns, so you just get to ignore the fact that, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to, like, think about the fact that, oh, we played 5 turns. And it didn't take them but we're under a minute. So this Glimmer's an important piece of advantage that Jake started here. He needs to hit every land drop going forward. I'll say it right now. Whoever hits more land drops wins the game.
Wins the game.
All right, he's got 2 disallows in hand, and both of them are online now. So that's a big.
I have 6 cards.
So he could try for a Torrential
7
Gearhulk
turns,
here.
I
I
played
don't
the
think
land.
that card would resolve.
Yeah, that one has to get countered.
Yeah. He's not allowed to have the Torrential Gearhulk.
Jared was aching to get a spell into his yard so that he has an excuse to play a Torrential Gear Hulk anyway.
Yeah. Okay,
Saheeli
so the Torrential
is
Gearhulk
fine.
opens up Saheeli. How do you feel about plussing that Saheeli?
What else are you going to do with it?
If I had a Guardian, if my plan was the Saheeli Guardian, I would just run the Guardian right out without the plus.
Why wouldn't you plus it?
All right, now Jake's gonna be put through decision here. He's gonna disallow, and that's going to get summary dismissal.
Sure, that resolves.
Oh wow! So summary dismissal here. Is that what that card's called?
Yes, it would exile the Ruinous Path.
It exiles all the cards on the stack, so it would counter Jared's spell as well, so the Saheeli would die.
Well, the cat's out of the bag here
Would live.
in terms of 4-mana counter spells that Jared could potentially have.
But now, if the intimidation factor, are you going to cast something?
You can counter that, right?
What?
You know?
All right.
The disallow countered the...
No, I mean like the
Sure. Like, one, yeah. Jeez.
What Jared needs to be doing is trying to set up a Torrential Gearhulk. But it's going to be very hard with this Saheeli active now.
How bad can we play?
Right.
Oh, man. Yes.
I think Jake's gonna go for one end of turn. Nope.
Jake has no incentive to.
He's just gonna ride
I
this.
get it.
Scrying every turn in a control matchup is powerful.
Pretty strong. I really like out of the board in the blue-black control decks, and it's not exactly intuitive, but Liliana
Okay.
comes down before a lot of removal and is or a lot of counter magic.
Yeah,
And,
especially if they're on the play.
Yeah.
All right. So we see how powerful Glimmer is there. It caused his Harness Lightning to be able to kill the Gearhulk, which
Yeah.
is super important.
That's a very important part of this matchup.
plus.
So this has definitely been a tale of one Glimmer.
Yep. We saw the Glimmer resolve for Jake Valentine, and it was just off to the races for him after that. And this Gearhulk's gonna get disallowed. Then the disallow's gonna probably catch a counter spell, and then that counter spell's gonna catch a negate. Oh, the Gearhulk's gonna get. Oh wow.
Is this in response?
Yeah, response.
Trigger on the stack or spells?
Spells.
All right, so the Gearhulk's on the stack. Jake plays his own Gearhulk, and he's gonna get disallow out of this graveyard. And
Yeah.
he is just ahead by a country mile now.
Yeah, this game's over. Over. Jared running out the... Yeah, see, if he would have waited one turn to run out this Torrential Gearhulk, you've got Gearhulk with your counter backup. I
Yeah.
guess the only counter he has exiles everything on the stack, so not that great.
Okay, so gosh, this is crazy. Jake's gonna copy his Torrential Gearhulk, casting this Glimmer.
2 energy, scry 2, draw
Put the
2, keep
Glimmer
a
on
Glimmer
top.
on top.
Yep, draw Banks over here.
That's hilarious.
Attack for 10.
That is a chunk of life.
All right,
Scoops him up.
scoops him up. Yep.
Yeah,
The
so
Glimmer and the Resolve Saheeli.
the big thing was the Glimmer and then poorly timing the Torrential Gearhulks. Also, just card selection. I don't know what Summary Dismissal is doing in that deck. Anyway.
Yeah, that card was very good when Emrakul was a card. Because you get to counter the Emrakul and the take your turn ability.
Yeah, so it was necessary when Emrakul was a card. I don't think it was very good. Don't look at me like that.
You just have to be contradictory to every. You can't just be like, oh yeah, it was good.
It was bad. I hated playing that card. I was like, God, I have to decide
love
where this
playing that
awful
card.
card in. That's fine. You can like it.
It's got great art.
It doesn't mean it's good.
It's got a unique effect. It was good there.
Yeah. It was bad.
All right. Um, so I think there's multiple counterspell levels here. So you definitely want these disallows. This is the premium counterspell in standard right now.
Okay.
The next step below that is having negates. And I think negate is super important for both these decks to have a full set of. And then the spell below that is Dispel.
Yeah.
Since the decks are playing at end of turn, you know, Gearhulk at end of turn, Glimmer more importantly at end of turn. Like, if you're Jared and it's your turn 4 and you pass, or your turn 5 I guess, and you pass and he glimmers at end of turn and you can pay 1 mana to dispel his Glimmer.
Oh yeah, that's a big win.
That's a big win because you still have the rest of your mana up. You can still negate or disallow whatever you know, if he goes for the combo or whatever.
Absolutely.
So I think it depends on how deep these guys want to go. I think if you go to full dispel count, you can ignore the negate level.
I think negate's way more important.
For Jared, yeah, it catches the planeswalkers.
Right. For Jake, dispel's a little more reasonable, but I wouldn't play more than like 2. You just don't have room for it in the sideboard.
Right.
Sideboard slots are precious.
I mean, 2017 is the year of the sideboard for me,
It is.
and so I'm all ears if we're going to talk about sideboarding.
That seems absolutely terrible in this matchup.
Yeah. And that's the reason why I disagree with you about the select for inspection. Because you want just 2 sideboard slots into it, and I think I value 2 sideboard slots more than you value 2 sideboard slots.
You might be right here. Here's why I think my view might be skewed is that I'm very accustomed to playing in metagames where it's 3 to 4 decks.
Right.
And in that situation, you can have very, you know, broad swaths of your sideboard, 5 or 6 cards even,
Sure.
for, you know, your opposing decks. Whereas at a Pro Tour, you want cards that are a little more general.
Right.
And even this metagame, I guess we have Jeskai decks, we have the green-black decks that come in 2 flavors.
Yeah, there'll be some humans decks there.
Yeah,
There'll be some aggro vehicles decks.
sure. But I think at like an SCG, you can narrow the field a little more.
Yeah, so the first 2 SCGs of a season are just awful indicators of a metagame because everyone's just playing. All the like SCG grinders are just playing what they think is the best deck,
Yeah.
and none of like the people that like actually try to innovate are doing anything there because they're saving technology.
Right.
Although I do think we got a glimpse into some spicy technology in the last SCG.
Enlighten me.
This Teamer Eldrazi deck
Oh my God! You sent me that list.
so powerful.
You sent me that list, and I became so happy.
Yeah, that
Like-
deck is very good.
A peace washed over me.
And my shocks.
I felt an inner warmth
Yeah.
that I haven't felt in years.
The 4/4 hexproof and the
I actually went and I took a cool shower.
He cooled off.
I took a cool shower and I lit a lavender candle. It was beautiful. That's how I felt about the deck. I wept a little bit. You know,
It's a sweet deck. You should build it and play it this weekend.
all my cards are actually with Bernie at the Pro Tour.
Oh, 100% of your cards?
Not 100%, but a lot of the mana base went. I know I sent the Elder Deep Fiends with him.
Okay.
I think people were playing that in sideboards, and he wanted to have it available in case he wants to register it.
Yeah, I've got, I don't know. We'll talk. We might be able to put pieces together still if you want to play it on Friday.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm trying to think about what I'm doing on Friday. I know I have a late. Okay, yeah, we'll talk later.
We'll figure it
The
out.
stream doesn't need to know my work schedule.
True, unless they want to get some sweet haircuts.
Yeah,
we have land.
specializing in the Ramal.
I don't know the one drop.
If you show up with Taylor to get your hair done, and you have a picture of a Magic Pro Tour player, he will hook you up.
Yeah, right. So immediately after the last, it was the last Pro Tour or 2 Pro Tours ago.
It was the last one.
The last one. I do. What is this?
Get this junk out of here.
Draw card.
All right. So Jake is no longer going to have Saheeli's in his deck, but he is going to get to draw a card.
We need to invoke the Lost Legacy rule or the Lost Legacy law, where it
There's a law?
we're gonna create one where once somebody casts Lost Legacy on stream, we just shut the stream down for the night. Unless they name Ulamog. I'm okay if they name Ulamog.
Lost Legacy naming anything but Ulamog. Non-artifact, non-land card. So bad. So many restrictions.
Yeah.
A non-land card would have been just fine.
It still would have been bad. Like, these cards are inherently bad. They don't do anything.
They're the null rods of the format. They do nothing.
It is like
Is that
playing...
a Fevered Visions?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah, against
Holy
these
smokes.
control decks, the Saheeli deck transitions into a control deck with this is a win condition. It's very strong.
And the check is...
It triggers at the end of your turn, Jared. He's seeing when this trigger is. Gosh, this is just too good. Alright, so Jake's gonna... Oh, he's gonna continue to hit land drops.
Yeah, I think he's even got a 5th in hand.
And a Glimmer. Oh, he's discarding lands. We have so many lands.
I don't agree with this choice of card to discard, but if he's going to Glimmer down a turn anyway, it's fine. I don't know that I do, though. I think I just draw go. I don't want to give Jared an out for any of his cards.
Yeah, so this puts Jared on a 10-turn clock. Yeah, see, so if he casts Glimmer, Jared gets to empty his hand of 1 card.
Right.
Whereas, like, I'll just sit there forever.
Goodbye, planes. Oh, pitch and Glimmer? That makes sense. He's got 2.
Sure. Yeah, and Jared's going to have to be the one to, you know,
Pulled the trigger.
pull the trigger here. He's just going to run his Gearhulk into a counterspell. I think he knows that, but is
Yeah.
that better or worse than...
I think you can take 2 a couple more times.
Sure.
And you just need to set up a turn where you can try to resolve a Gearhulk. It might be at the end of Jake's turn once you get 2 more lands to keep this negate mana up.
Alright. I think Jake needs to play an untapped land here. Because if... So where Jake can gain an advantage here is if Jared puts Gearhulk on the stack.
Sure. 7 cards in hand. You got it.
Alright. So...
Jared's denying him a card to get rid of a card in his hand.
That's a great card to draw. Let me tell you.
It's
holy
actually
smokes,
a
this
really
is
good card to draw.
Such an interesting...
It's all the counter spells.
All the ruin spells.
I want to walk this back. Can we walk this back to the turn Fevered Visions came into play?
How about the turn before when Jared
that's-
wasted his
no.
turn 3?
No, that's what I wanted to walk back.
Let's walk it right back.
So this Fevered Visions doesn't make it into play if Jared doesn't cast Lost Legacy.
Correct.
And additionally, even if Jared doesn't put Jake on Fevered Visions, if he, I guess he was getting the Saheelis out of the deck. I just don't know that there's ever like a good reason to cast that guy.
There's not. I've been saying this for years.
Okay. This is great for Jake. He's going to disallow that, and this is going to not allow him, not require him to discard anymore. Perfect.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Perfect. He goofed here by tapping a plains instead of an Aether Hub. I guess it's not a total goof, but all right. I would
Just give him the glimmer. Like,
let him have it.
Best thing he could get is a land.
All right. Oh, he's gonna. All right, there's the Nagat.
Yeah, I wouldn't have given him a target for the negate, but
Yeah.
I guess he's gonna get to resolve his torrential Gearhulk now.
Yeah, and that speeds up the clock by quite a bit.
How many land do we have? 7 or 8? It'll be 8 with this. I don't hate just firing up the Fumarole and bashing for 4. Like,
Can we fire them both up?
I think you can only fire up 1.
Yeah, it costs 5.
And then you still have disallow. Yeah, I'm not crazy about this.
Your Hulk Glimmer.
Now he has a target for his removal. I guess because he has the
Oh, here's
swamp,
two
he could be
negates that he's gonna
representing.
draw.
Sure. I guess he could be representing Fatal Push here, although I don't know why you would keep that in. Fevered Visions. Don't be greedy.
All right, there you go. All right.
Now you've just given Jared the go-ahead to resolve his own Gearhulk. Man, how sick would it be if he had a Metallic Rebuke here?
Yeah, we
Do you see this board position and think Metallic Rebuke?
No.
You're just like, all right, all my creatures free. All right, here we go. Oops.
We haven't seen a Metallic Rebuke deck.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a Thraben Inspector, Heart of Kirin Metallic Rebuke deck going around?
I'd like to think so.
I'd play that deck.
I'm probably going to be trying to play something like that on Friday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, well, you let me know. I got some hearts in my binder.
All right.
I got in on those on the ground floor,
On the ground floor?
which happened to be $15, but it was still the ground floor.
What are they now?
They're above 20.
Oh. Interesting.
I didn't save it. Wasn't like $4 Tarmogoyfs that some people got a hold of, but
I bought a play set of Tarmogoyfs at the pre-release. 5 apiece. Sold them when they hit 30. And was like happier than I've ever been. And then slowly got sad as the years passed and the Tarmogoyfs grew.
I mean, could you imagine if you had put $100 into Tarmogoyfs at even at 30?
Yeah.
Put $1,000 into Tarmogoyfs at 30, they triple. I mean, you just don't. Investments like that don't exist. Okay, I guess Heart of Kirin, it's dipped a little bit. It's sold out at 18, so it's probably
It's probably
$20
like 60.
for it. Anyway, Jake's got a stranglehold on this game. I don't think.
Just getting some cards out.
Yeah, the less Jake casts spells, the further ahead he gets.
Yeah, but he
for
keeps
whatever reason,
casting
he
these
keeps
Torrential
casting
Gearhulks.
these spells. And the whole mess goes back to, yeah, here's a negate. Here's a God, see if Jake just lets that spell go.
Well, he still gets the Torrential Gearhulk, and that's fine. And I think he's still taking 2.
No, it's gonna negate. He's gonna negate the negate. Oh, I guess he gets the dispel. Yeah. All right. So we each get a Gearhulk now.
Oh, he drew another Lost Legacy. Bet he's glad he sideboarded those in.
Oh man. See, he needs to just fire up both of his fumaroles here.
You just fire up 1 and get in there, and it's fine. All right, that'll do it.
That'll do it. So don't cast Lost Legacy on 3. If it's in your deck, cast it on like 6.
Just don't even cast it. Let's be real.
All right, just
I wanna
take
be
all
real with you.
Take all the Lost Legacies of your collection and go light them on fire.
Please. Please make an offering to the gods of good magic cards.
It's a trap. So one of the things you have to realize R&D is doing, and in every set, is they wanna print cards that give you choices about which version to play, right?
Right.
And Lost Legacy is one of the worst cards they print, so that, like, you know what I mean?
They did a very good job of making it seem like it was okay.
Right. It costs 3. That's one less than all the other cards of that similar effect.
Right. And that makes it appealing, but at the same time, in the best case scenario for some of the old cards, where you slam it, you name your card, you hit 2 of them in their hand, and it's just insane. If you hit 2, they just cycle them.
Oh yeah,
That's it. They got rid of the best case scenario.
There's only been one of this type of card cast at a Pro Tour, and it was Cranial Extraction. And that Pro Tour was so god-awful slow that Cranial Extraction, it has Arcane, and it was part of a loop that won you the game by, like, removing their deck from the game.
That's true.
So it's only happened once. Don't try too hard. The card's bad.
What was the one from last
That really
season?
can't answer is has to play around. Because if I can resolve a gear hulk and make you race that way, while you're giving me reason,
There was one that was in cons.
then it's you.
Did it cost 4?
Sure, you shocked me once a turn, but you're facing down the barrel of 5, 6.
I can't remember. I remember having to play one because of the ramp decks, and it just felt awful.
You never brought it in, even against the ramp decks.
I was just like,
you
oh.
couldn't bring yourself to do it.
It's all play as a one of in like the season's past decks during that Pro Tour.
I've vanquished it from my memory.
Yeah, I wish I could. But the
Alright.
stream always brings them back.
Give us 25 minutes. We're going to find a sweet round 4 match, and we'll be right back with you.
We will be right back.